Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and today, as promised, I'm going to be showing you the team that I ran. Again, this is not supposed to be an accessible team, but rather to show you what I am actually using on Nightmare Hydra as Ninja miraculously hits 3 of his A2 hits into the same target and weak hits on every single one. The team I actually used here on Nightmare difficulty, sort of my first week being sort of back properly playing the game after a break from going to Japan for almost a month. But yeah, the Hydra changes have hit. Hydra is way harder now, way tougher. And I made a couple of changes to this team. And yeah, let me show them to you. And what I've done, I'm trying a couple of new things here, which hopefully might be interesting to you. So actually, let's cover the biggest one first. The biggest thing that I'm doing in this team that is different, I've shown basically this team before, but before I had Wallmaster Atharion in. Wallmaster Atharion, I won't jump to the game quite yet. We'll let the stuff play in the background so you can see how it works more. Um, Wallmaster Atharion, he was coming in as my block buff champion and bringing us lots and lots of extra damage. I was running him before, but I've now switched him out for an Uko, which is kind of crazy because I've been, I guess, outspoken before about not really liking Uko that much for Hydra. However, things have changed. What has changed? Well, in fact, let me pause it here so we can see more of the start of the run, at least up to the 1 key. A couple of things changed for me. So number one, I was obviously lucky enough to pull a 6-star soul for Uko. That is game changing. But a big new set that has come in, and something I'm trying to bring in to more stuff, Feral. Feral has come in, and Uko is really good at it. So with this team, actually a couple of things we're doing. Again, this is something to aim for as you go later in the game. Like, this is probably not something that a lot of you are able to do right now. Certainly Feral is really difficult. Really difficult. But these are things to consider in order to maximize your damage, because with Hydra being so much tougher, you might be in a situation now where Plarium has come in, and I think that, you're doing probably about 1/3 of the damage, maybe a bit higher than that, but, you're doing a lot less damage than you were before, and getting those personal rewards from Hydra Clash, really powerful, but now might be really hard for you. So this is sort of stuff to aim for. The 9-piece protection set. I've got this on Mikage. I think there's other options here as well for her. This is nice. I would like to do Relentless on Mikage. I just don't have good Relentless gear. Funny enough, it's just not fast enough. But 9-piece protection. These protective buffs are nice, but more importantly, allies do 5% more damage for each buff placed by the wearer. Now, Mikage, she only does 2, but it's something, right? 10% more damage. That adds up. That adds up to a lot. That could be millions more damage. Pretty cool. I've got the same thing on Androck the Glorious. Obviously not an excessive champion. He's putting out lots of buffs, though. So he's amazing for the protection set. Well, the flip side of this protection set is the Feral set. You are mostly getting protection from Hydra itself, and Hydra Clash personal rewards are crucial. That is where you get most of these accessories. So, maybe starting out, it's taking you maybe weeks to get those personal chests, right? It might take you ages and ages. When you do get them, you'll start getting some of these accessories, and then you can start building people actually in 9-piece protection over time, and then that can help you push up and get the chest more efficiently until hopefully you're in a position where you can get all of those chests every single week. Feral is from Siege, which, again, people don't like Siege, but hopefully you're winning some Sieges and slowly getting some Feral. And yeah, this one is going to be tough because I'm obviously in the highest tier of Siege. You might be in a lower tier. You might not be winning. Could take a long time. But when you do get some Feral, it is worth thinking about how this will impact the champions you'll use, because this is a flip of protection. Allies do 5% more damage for each debuff placed by the wearer. Well, Uko can come in. He can put block buffs, decrease accuracy, and even decrease attack. That's 3 debuffs potentially that he can place, and that's giving us potentially 15% more damage as well. So yeah, you can definitely think, I'd say Lydia is an interesting one. I have my Lydia also a 9-piece protection because it's just way easier to get. I've got so much more protection gear because it's been around for a long time now compared to Feral. I just don't have any. Lydia is quite interesting. She's got 2 debuffs with 2 buffs over here. Now, she does bring 2 more debuffs over here. In fact, she I guess she potentially brings 3 debuffs actually, but block active skills doesn't work against Hydra. But she could potentially be really good with Feral, even bringing Fear on the A1 against waves. You know, wave-based content, she could potentially bring 6 debuffs. I've not really thought about that before. An interesting possibility. But yeah, I mean, look, Feral coming in on the Mighty Uko. We'll look at the builds in a little bit as well. Let's jump back to the run. But yeah, so that's a couple of things that I've got going on here that are late game benefits, and also we've got some merciless sets in there as well for the damage. These are like late game things, even end game, probably actually end game for Feral, let's be real at the moment, though that will improve as time goes on. But end game right now, it takes time. But yeah, that's what we're doing. A little bit of a problem with Uko, his block buffs. He can only place block buffs if the enemy has no buffs left after he does his A2. And what is the problem with that in Hydra? Well, when a head respawns, they get this Serpent's Will buff, which has been buffed, of course. Now it's total damage immunity. But this is a buff. So Uko cannot place block buffs on a freshly spawned head. And that is a bit of an issue. It means that Head of Wrath will get increased attack, right? It means that Poison Cloud will go out on the heads. Luckily, in this team, we do have Ninja. We've got a HP burn, and that's something I'd probably be trying to do, is trying to bring in somebody with a HP burn alongside Uko, so that, yes, Uko can't stop Poison Cloud, but at least you can get the burn out, and that can let you hit through Poison Cloud. So that's something that you can try to do. Obviously, Ninja's is not very reliable, but hopefully it is enough. And yeah, the other big reason I brought Uko in, actually a couple of reasons. Number one, before with this team, Krisk was my increased speed champion, but Krisk doesn't bring increased speed for himself. Uko does give increased speed to Krisk, and that I found that actually had a pretty big impact in making this more reliable. Otherwise, you have to build extremely high speed on Krisk to make him a reliable provoker now for Nightmare Hydra, because the heads are coming back so quickly. I found Krisk was much more reliable. But there we go, by the way. We can see the Uko A2 placing debuffs and everything, but not Head of Wrath. Yeah, that was something I found, you know, increased speed for Krisk, making him more reliable to provoke and try to keep that Head of Decay provoked, seeing as he's respawning every 5 seconds, it feels like at times. Uko's also giving us a revive, which means that people can die, right? Reflect damage goes up. I think revive is probably more important now. You lose a ton of damage bringing a reviver. I mean, preferably, you'd have your Hydra run, and nobody would ever need to be revived. That would be ideal. But I think, again, with heads respawning so much, you're going to have reflect damage go out. Head of Wrath, he's going to get increased attack. Like, it's really hard to stop those things happening. And people can die. Look, there's Ninja. Ninja just died. Well, great news. Unfortunately, Uko is feared because I don't have a way to stop the fear here. So that could mess us up a little bit. But Uko can strip off the reflect damage. If somebody does die, Uko can revive them as well. So that's what we have going on. It's a couple of little tweaks I've made to the team. Because unfortunately, Hydra is such a pain in the butt. I would rather take a little bit lower damage and have the revive than have to try to run these damn Hydra keys like 10 times in 1 week per key to finally get that good RNG run where, you know, somebody doesn't die. Reflect damage didn't happen this run, finally. You know, sometimes you get really far in, almost to the end of your run, and then reflect damage comes out right at the end, and you're like, oh, well, now I don't keep it. It's been an amazing run so far, but we're missing the last 10%. I guess there's no point. Real annoying. One really cool thing, actually, with Uko, by the way, in this team, too, because he has decreased accuracy. We have increased resistance from Androck. So actually, you saw right there, Uko is just mischief tanking casually. He just got targeted by Head of Mischief, resisted everything. That's kind of a nice little perk, and that obviously scales very, very well if you do level up your resistance in your area bonuses. I imagine most of you probably have almost no resistance in your area bonuses. Most people skip out on Vive Arena, but if you do it and you get some resistance in there, it can help a bit as well. Something also to note, fairly end game min-maxing. But yeah, you can see here, it's ideal if we can kill a couple of heads at the same time. It's great because then one doesn't spawn back with Serpent's Will. That's very difficult to do with this team. We do have decreased defense AoE from Krisk, kind of, but it's not super reliable, obviously. They need to hit him for it to happen, so he can't put decreased defense against decapitated heads. But Ninja with his A1 does place decreased defense, so that's sort of the idea. And generally speaking, what I'm doing, this is a full auto run, as you can see. But one min-max thing that we could do is, that was a nice hit there. That's a little bit lucky he didn't weak hit. One nice thing that we can do is, and you can see, by the way, 10% more damage against this head now, thanks to Feral Set. So we're going to overkill it, so it doesn't really, really matter. But it's 10% more damage. Wait, I got distracted. I got distracted by that thought. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I have no idea what I was saying. I'm sure it wasn't important. It probably was. But we'll muddle on through. But yeah, so I'm just targeting heads. If you did this on manual, right, because Ninja and Varl are different affinities, you could target different heads, and it would be great. I'm just targeting magic affinity, preferably Spirit. Spirit is the best. Ninja and Varl, both good against Spirit. Brilliant for full auto. Otherwise, Ninja does more damage, so I'm going to be prioritizing magic affinity heads. Force affinity heads, as you can see, there's 3 of them. They're the thing we want to attack the least. So you can see Varl right there. He's going to weak hit, but yeah, that's basically the way it is. We're going in on full auto. We want to get this done. I'd say the damage potential for this team would be a decent chunk higher than if you did it full manual, right? Always getting a strong hit with Varl, always getting a strong hit with Ninja would be really nice, but very awkward to do that. You can see big damage from Ninja. We lose a lot of damage because we do tend to kill these decapitated heads fairly often, whereas before, in the past, they would have lived for much, much longer. That's just no longer the case. They just respawn back faster. There you go. That is the team. How did we do in the end? We see this actually, luckily, on full auto, it is a shorter run ish. I mean, compared to what it was before. It used to be close to an hour before. I mean, they cut off 1/3 of the team. So now we're coming in at about 35 minutes. It used to be more like 50 or so minutes before. So yeah, bang on. I'd say the damage of this team, guys, before the nerf, I think I did it with a Thorion. I think it was 1.5 billion. So almost 3 times more damage before. Obviously, we lost 1/3 of the damage. So we straight up lost like 500 million damage from having 1,000 turns instead of 1,500. And then we've lost another like 350 million damage, I'd say, from number 1, ditching Wallmaster Atharion, bringing in an Uko, and then obviously just the new Hydra mechanics, making it tougher as well. You could probably run this without the Uko and with like a Wallmaster or something, or I don't know, Supreme Galek, or I don't know, something like that could probably work, and you get more damage out. But the problem is, if that reflect damage goes through, if somebody dies, good luck, you're restarting your entire run. It's such a pain. I'd actually say, you know, maybe the mythical Lazarius would probably be ideal. He's probably the ideal block buffs champion now, Lazarius, because he does good damage. He's doing other stuff. But anyway, that's the team. So we can see the damage. Mikage, 18 million. Chris, 132. He is in Hex set, the Curse set. 315 million from Ninja, 22 million from Uko, 153 from Varl, and 13 million from Androck. Yeah, 2 big damage dealers. Hex. Mikage is effectively a damage dealer. That's why Ninja is doing so much. Every time she A1s, she brings in the Ninja. And yeah, that's the concept of the team. Again, it's not an accessible team, but this is the actual team I'm running for Nightmare Hydra. And let's look at the champions, and then let's show you... Actually, no, let's show you some other teams first, and then we'll show you my builds. So I was pretty happy. I think we came second in Hydra Clash. Unfortunately, that just ended this morning before I got up to record this. But again, I think this is such a pity, by the way. Let's look at some of the other teams from Nightmare. I actually did really well this week. We came 5th in our clan. I doubt that's going to last. I think these guys are going to be outpacing me very quickly. My clan mates are going to be better. But as you can see right now, I think this is such a pity that we're coming in. Hydra has become worse. A worse experience for everybody. And look at this. Trunda is still number 1. Not by a little bit, but by a lot. And I think that's only going to get worse as the Trunda speed tunes are improved and optimized and whatnot. So, yeah, I find it just so frustrating. I think it's probably the worst update Plarium has ever done. They've come in and gone, okay, we've put in all of these changes, and it's making everything worse to stop, like, Trunda teams be dominant. And it's like, Trunda's still dominant. It's like, what are you actually doing? Like, zero faith right now. Anyway, you can see Trunda with double Fina. This over here, more traditional, the double Yumiko. I think even a single Fina can be really strong. Here we've got, like, a non-Trunda team. Beast. So we've got like Teox, sort of Mikage Teox crit, very similar to what I'm doing. This one's actually cool because we've got Carnage. Carnage is so underrated. Carnage is brilliant. Really, really good. We've got loads of debuffs on this team, so he is smashing it. Again, you can see a similar thing here from my my clanmate. His team's obviously much better than mine, but we've got 2 9-piece protections. We've got a curse set from Krisk. Lydia, interestingly, actually has Toxic and Impulse. That's interesting. I wonder if that's for extra debuffs. We do have Relentless there on the Teox as well. So yeah, cool stuff, and Carnage slamming out the damage. Here's me. I'm really happy with this to come. Just barely scraping, barely beating Frabby here. Just a little bit lucky this week. But yeah, we can see other teams that people are putting together. Like here's Frabby. He's got a Teox team as well, Relentless. We've got the Toshiro. Actually, a Riho here. That's really interesting. I think Riho, by the way, would be really good with Feral because she places so many debuffs. That could be quite nice. Oh, another champion that's absolutely killing it when you get him, Marius. Absolute monster for Hydra now. Really strong. Enemy max HP effectively got buffed because they now do double damage against decapitated heads, whereas before they were locked to just the same damage as living heads, really, with endgame gear. So max HP champs, Marius in particular, is massive. Again, Lazarius, I think, is really, really strong. It's another ninja team, and so on. So just giving you an idea of some of the champs. Here's one with the Tharion and Ninja. You can see the Ninja. Now, he's being boosted up by Teox. Teox is just crazy, right? His A1 brings in Ninja's A1, and it does, like, double damage, so his damage is really high. But Tharion is strong. Archer, really going, giving you some ideas for some of the teams here from some of my clanmates. A lot of similar sort of stuff. By the way, in Brutal, it's the same sort of thing. Trunda, 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 Trunda. Yes, thank you, Plarium, for changing Hydra once again. What about in hard mode? Trunda, 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 Trunda. Thank you so much, Plarium, for making Hydra worse for everybody. It's great. It's really been very much improved. Yeah, thanks. Great. One thing I will say they have succeeded at, perhaps, is that the damage from hard mode isn't that good anymore. Like Brutal is as much like they have pushed it towards the higher difficulties being more important for Clash. But not in a very fun way, let's say that much. So yeah, that's where we're at with that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's where we're at. Let's show you the builds for these champions that I used. So we had Mikage coming in. Like I said, she is in 9-piece protection, and I think she's got some like crit rate and as much speed as I could get and accuracy. So she's still like okay for arena. She's like a bit slow, but she's got enough accuracy. And yeah, she's doing some damage. That's Mikage. These are her masteries, and she does have cruelty. Fully booked. She stays in Form 1 the whole time in Hydra. Androck stays in Form 1 the whole time in Hydra. 9-piece protection. Again, he is coming in. 100% crit rate. Again, with Androck in particular, when allies crit, it fills the turn meter of everyone by 5%. This is insanely good. And that's why we do want everyone with crit rate, if possible, to be hopefully getting that turn meter boost every time. Yeah, he has no blessing right now. He's being cruelty as well. And yeah, he's locked into Form 1. He has these masteries. We had the Uko, like I said, 9-piece Feral. Like I've got some quite decent Feral pieces. This one's really good. Defense with HP, speed, no accuracy, but still. Accuracy, it does have a ton of attack. This is going to be a god tier piece at some point for like a bomb champion. Maybe eventually. Don't have a speed boot yet, but we have one with double speed. So it's totally fine. And then I've got like the accessories. This ring is bonkers good. Unbelievable. 40% HP from that. Really good necklace as well. Double accuracy. And triple speed mythical banner. It's crazy. Crazy. So I've been very much blessed with Feral, and we're making the most of it. We have cruelty on him and Warmaster. Warmaster does stack cruelty up faster. But yeah. Are you jealous? Let's go back to that banner. Are you jealous? I need to ascend this and get accuracy ascension on it or something. Yeah, Uko, did I show the stat? So he's very fast. He doesn't need to be this fast, right? We could lower that speed and it would be okay. And he's got way too much accuracy. Like 600 accuracy. You need 400 for Nightmare Hydra. So he'd still be actually okay in arena, I guess. And you know, it does give him protection from polymorph in arena. So, hey, maybe it's okay. We could use him sometimes for that. Let me actually put him in as like backup arena champion. Why not? Who else was in this team? We've got the Ninja. So Ninja, again, late game damage build, I'd say. Merciless and 2-piece Cruel. I think probably 2-piece Zeal might be better, but I don't have good Zeal gear because I don't do enough live arena. He also has 1 piece of Pinpoint. So Ninja is coming in, my best gear. Fortunately, not quite 8,000 attack. I want to get 7 more attack just so it looks nicer. But 240 speed, 323 crit damage. Also, I do think possibly dropping the speeds on a lot of these characters could actually be good, right? So instead of speed boots, be running like attack or HP or defense percent boots. That might be better. Lower speeds, more damage. But I'm not sure. Anyway, this is what I ran on Ninja, and it's worked fine. He's got Nature's Wrath, and he has these masteries. We had Varl. Obviously, Varl is only 2-star, so it would be great to upgrade that. Where is Varl? There he is. Varl, pretty much the same masteries. He is coming in with just lethal. There's definitely room to grow this. Oh, he actually has got Savage Boot. That's hilarious. Oh, they're really good Savage Boots. Insane Savage Boots, in fact. Crazy good. Yeah, he's got Savage Boots and then he's in lethal just because it's this the best gear I've got. That's funny. Yeah, we'd love to get him into lethal like plus cruel or something at some point. There's room to upgrade his gear for sure. He's only 6.6k attack, 248 speed, 266 crit damage, 356 accuracy. Not as good as Ninja. Obviously, he doesn't have the full blessing, so he's missing some crit damage there as well. But room to grow. Was that everybody? Oh, Krisk as well. We missed the Krisk. Krisk. Where is Krisk? Where is Krisk? He's only 4-star. I forgot. Krisk, he is in the curse set, giving us that hex. I don't know. I don't even know if this is as important anymore. But it's probably still nice to have. Like, it helps you target Head of Mischief. I think I'm still running it. I wonder if this might change. Probably not for higher difficulties. But if, like, in lower difficulties, maybe the curse set loses value. I don't know. Tough to say. But he's coming in with, again, we're trying to give him some crit rate. Crit damage is really bad on Krisk, but we're fine. He lives. He's fine. And again, if he does die, sometimes he will die. Like, sometimes, the way that Krisk can die is sometimes the heads respawn in a weird way, or Devour happens in a weird way, and then Head of Mischief will steal the ally protection from somebody and spread it around their team. And if that happens, Krisk will die because us hitting ally protection on the enemy, because we're playing on full auto, will kill Krisk. Right? He'll die from the ally protection that the enemy Mischief steals. But with Uko, we can revive him, and it's not so bad. He's got Cruelty and these masters. Fairly standard stuff. There you go. That's my team. That's what I've been running. Like I said, it's pretty darn good for me this week. And I mean, he did 1.2 billion points. We did 600 million, let's say. So we did over double what we need for the personal rewards just from that one key. It's actually a really, really big. So obviously you probably don't have Androck. You might not have Krisk. The other ones are more questionable. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But hopefully it gives you some ideas. Anyway, look, this is what I'm running, just to show you what I'm running post-HYDRA nerf. Like I said, this team before was probably doing about 3 times, slightly under 3 times as much damage. He was doing about as much damage as Restlix is doing post-nerf. That was how much damage I was doing pre-nerf. So you don't want to know how much damage he was doing pre-nerf. But yeah, there you go. Let me know what you think. Anyways, you would change my team. Are you using any of the similar sort of champions? But yeah, just a few different things that I've been doing recently, like protection, looking to try get Feral in there, even considering revivers just to make it more consistent and less of a pain, because making stuff less of a pain is quite important. There you go. That's what's happening. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.